Hello, my name is Andrew Cerniglia. I'm a supervisor here at the Wayne County Schools Career Center, and I'm going to talk just briefly here about our one-to-one program. Students who come to the Career Center get a laptop, and that laptop is distributed early in their career here, first or second day. They get this laptop in a case, and it's basically theirs for the entirety of their stay with us. They're typically collected after the junior year, and maintenance is done, upgrades are or updates are installed, etc., and then redistributed at the beginning of the senior year. And most students leave our building with them when they graduate. So the way this program is funded, it is subsidized by the Board of Education, but there are tech fees each year, $87 tech fees for the junior and senior year. Those fees go towards the purchase of the laptop, and additionally towards the software that we install, the subscription or purchase of the software that's installed on those machines, so that the students can use them while they're here with us. We do have rental equipment for $5 a day. Students can rent either a laptop or a charger if one of them are left at home. There is no cost to use those rental pieces of equipment if the machine is being worked on. In that case, the laptop or the charger would be free. One thing that we need to be aware of is damages and repairs. The biggest thing is we want our students to notify staff, especially the tech staff, immediately if there's damage and report it to the TRC, because then we're able to get, typically students' recollection is better in terms of what happened. If they come to us right away, it's more accurate. And that plays into how we assess costs of repairs. So the way we do that is dependent on the event or the circumstances that led to the damage. If it's an accidental thing, typically it's 50% of the cost of the materials to fix the machine. For the first offense, a minimum charge $25, and then full cost for subsequent offenses. If the student is at fault, in other words, if it's not negligence, if it's behavior that directly led to the breakage, then we do at times assess the full cost of the replacement parts. It is worth noting that we're not charging for labor or anything like that. It's just the cost of the parts that are required that we need to fix the machine. In the event of loss or theft, that also should be reported to the school immediately. Loss results in full financial responsibility for the family. Theft requires the family to provide evidence of the filing of a police report within 14 days of the incident, and we can help you with that. That is less often the case. But if you can file a police report, then we will reduce the cost of the replacement by 50%. If there's no police report filed, then again, it's 100% assessed in fees. With regards to student use, the devices may be inspected at any time to verify appropriate use. All activity is monitored during the school day. So we have content filters, etc., tracking software, and screen monitoring that can be used by instructors. So all of that technology is on the machines, or what is required to run that technology is on the machines, and it's run in the building throughout the day. However, parents are expected to monitor use at home. So we're not looking at that, how the machines are used outside of the building. Although we do have the ability to do some examination of that, we typically do not unless there's some reason to go into that usage. But students should be aware that if we do If we are motivated to look at usage outside the building for whatever reason, that they would be in violation of the acceptable use policy, regardless of whether they're in or out of school, if they're accessing inappropriate content. Again, that is not something we do frequently. It's actually done rarely, but it is something we can do. So the big pieces to remember there is that we're not typically monitoring use outside of the home. The expectation is that parents are doing that, and students should be aware that even though that is the case, if we do happen to look at their use outside of the building for some reason, that they would be in violation of the AUP if they're accessing inappropriate content outside of the school day. So the other big piece is we've been running this program now for close to 10 years. It's been a while. So our teachers are used to students having machines all day, and their curriculum and their lessons are based on the assumption that students are going to have machines here. So it's critical that the students bring them every day, that they're charged when they bring them to school. It's also important that students keep the machines in the school provided case. We have spent significant time examining or trialing cases to find the best bang for our buck, and what we have now is a protective case. It's not the most elegant case, but it is definitely protective of the machine, which is our primary priority. So if students, that's another thing that can lead to or factor into our calculus when we look at damages and assessing fees. If a student brings a machine that's broken to us and it's not in a case, or it wasn't in a case when the machine got broken, then that is something that we consider when we assess fees. So it's important to minimize the chance of damage, and also to minimize any fees assessed if there is damage. Keep those machines in the cases. Students should expect to submit most work electronically. So we do have printers in the building, but we try to minimize their use. So that is the gist of our program. If you have questions, there are one-to-one guidelines that were worked on sort of over the course of the first 18 months as we ran this program. They're modified infrequently now because we have dealt with most of the outliers or exceptions to what we had originally created. So that document is available on the website, and that will give you a more thorough and in-depth summary of the way we run the program. Thank you.